Epic Originals presents Adventure Kingdom, Book 4, Mired in the Mirror Maze. Written by Steve Fox, illustrated by Pedro Rodriguez, performed by Todd Habercorn and Taylor Meskimen.
Couldn't the ring-a-lings have dropped us off closer?
Trains have to stay on their tracks, Clark. They can't just fly up a mountain for us. Actually, can trains fly here?
Not that I know of, but I like how you're starting to think, kid. The Hall of Mirrors should be right up this slope. Don't give up just yet. That's what you said ages ago. Whoa. The Iron King built this place, but the Grand Jerome booted him out. Hold up a second, Eddie. Whatever we find in there with your granddad, I'll be right by your side. And so will Eddie. Clark's right, but if you two don't put some pep in your step, I'm going to be in there alone.
We're coming. Don't get your little monkey tail in a twist.
I'm glad you and Clark are such pals, but do you gotta sound like him now, too?
Meanwhile, back home.
Orville? Lenny? Can anyone hear me? What was that other goon's name? Don't matter anyway. Ain't none of them answering. Some henchmen they turned out to be. Could capture 2 kids and a chimp. I would have nabbed them all by now. Didn't want to resort to this, but desperate times. Should we be leaving breadcrumbs or something?
It doesn't look like anyone has been through here in a long time. What's my granddad even doing in a place like this?
We can ask him that right after we ask him to help us defeat the Iron King. Wait, if this was the Grand Jerome's secret base or whatever, is it booby-trapped? Of course! You don't think the Grand Jerome would forget security, do ya? See, we gotta avoid stuff like this. Easy peasy if you're paying attention. And my mom said video games were bad for me. I've been practicing this stuff for years.
Everyone okay? All things considered, that could have been worse.
That sounds like something I would say. Then 2 seconds later, boom, something worse happens.
I hate being right.
Run!
Please let us not get squished. Please let us not get squished.
It's a magic coin, Clark, not a shooting star.
Look, up ahead. If we can make that jump, we'll be home free.
Made it.
All right, Eddie. Time to monkey up.
Eddie!
Oh. Eddie, my boy, you've gotten rusty.
Granddad!
Caroline, I wondered when you'd find your way here. You don't know how hard it was to leave you without any explanation.
Then, why did you? I really needed you. Everything is falling apart without you.
Choosing between my responsibilities at home and my duties here was impossible. I had hoped to be away for a week or two at most, but even the best of intentions can hurt those you love. I can't blame you if you refuse to forgive me.
Granddad, you did it to save an entire magical world. How can I stay mad knowing that?
Oh, Caroline, getting to hug you again after all this time. It's enough to make an old man cry.
Maybe we should save the tears for later and stick with beating up bad guys for now?
And you, young man, I'm terrible at names. I want to say Caldwell. Caleb? Carter. It couldn't possibly be Clark.
I, kept your coin safe for you. Mostly.
You've done much more than that, Clark. And it's not my coin. Not anymore. Let's continue this reunion back in my quarters, though. All this dust is clogging my mustache.
Whoa! Magic door!
Clark, you do know we have hidden doors in the real world, right?
And after that, we beat this gang of goons.
Thanks to Eddie and with some help from the Ringalings.
And then they dropped us off here, and you saved Eddie from falling to his doom. And now we can get you out of here so you can defeat the Iron King. Again.
Ah, Clark, how I wish it were so easy. I'm afraid I can't fight the Iron King. Not again.
But we came all this way.
Please, let me tell you a story. I suspect it will help you to understand. I was a young man the first time I stumbled into the real Adventure Kingdom, but I wasn't alone. My business partner and I were scouting land for the theme park when we came upon an old well with a gold coin on its rim. The coin seemed to call to us. We threw it in, and each made a wish, not knowing just where those wishes would take us. Discovering this magical land inspired everything I would one day create in the park. I wanted to share that sense of wonder with our world. But for the man who would become the Iron King, the coin created a terrible need within him. He wanted more magic and more power, so he sought out allies who would help him find both. As he grew in power, he forced everyone to choose sides. That's why I fought so hard against the Iron King. It was partially my fault he came here in the first place. I locked him away in the theme park so he could never threaten this world again. But his remaining servants found ways to weaken the magic keeping him prisoner in our world. I came back to do what I could, but not before I split the coin and gave it to you two.
You're going to pause here, and on the next slide, you will answer a few questions about this plot.